Welcome to Mite Bajerski YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about healing oils, and specifically the 11 healing oils that I have worked with now over these years. Some I've worked with for many years, and some I've worked with for a few months. Actually, that's not true. A few months. I guess the ones that I made, I've worked with a few months, but I've been working with Golden Relief now for many years. So all of them really, I've been working with a good few years, but some of them for over 20. So is it over 20? It's going to be, I can't remember anymore. So these are my oils that I would have put in my, if I'm working now as a healer, which I don't do so much at all, retired, but every now and again, if it's family, I'll give a healing session, but very rarely. These oils are in my healing kit. So I'm going to go through these healing oils of how to work with them. Now, I know a lot of you guys have already got these oils, so you've probably heard this conversation a lot. However, each conversation that I have when I talk about the oils will bring up new things, because you can't talk about how to use an oil and it's not an A to Z, but there's certain things that I felt with these oils, how to use them, where to work with them, that might help you. But there's an overall understanding with oil, and that is that X never marks the spot. That's what I've learned. So when you think, oh, I've got a spiritual issue and I should be rubbing it here, sometimes there could be an effect of a root cause somewhere else. So I always say to the people who buy my oils, just sit for a minute and just feel. If something doesn't feel right somewhere, then use that oil in that particular place. Now, I've done a full circle with oils, and I've had like a minimum of 3 oils with me at any given time over these years. And I've learned to go from this mindset of, oh, I should use this oil for this reason, to, you know what, close your eyes, just grab an oil, or don't even close your eyes, just grab any oil. Don't look at the name of it, just grab it and then use that oil. Don't look at the name, just use it on the client, and use it where you need to use it. I've got to be honest, I know it goes against most people's understanding. I get that. It's like, oh, well, you're just making it up as you go along. There is something about this purity, this divine guidance, that I can't really explain it as a healer, but I was a pretty sought after healer. There were many people came from worldwide to have a healing session, so something was working. And up until the very last few years of my healing work, it was probably the most powerful time, where if somebody was said to me, how do you work, Mark? I work intuitively. What does that mean? I trust the flow of whatever I do without a second thought, because second thoughts normally bring the brain in, which then kill the actual miracle, the connection, the intuition of the healing session. So that's the way I work. When I teach 4 days pure energy healing to practitioners, it's very hard for a lot of them who have been in the work for many years, but those who are fresh to it grab to this and naturally feel it and think, wow, this is so liberating. However, there's a lot of Reiki masters who've been doing it for a decade and a half, who said to me, this is the missing piece. This is where I didn't realize this is it. So I'm going to start, I'm not going to look at the oils. I'm just going to grab an oil, talk about it, put it down, then talk about another oil till we get through all of the oils. And I'm hopefully going to give some indication to how I would use it, certain places where I would put it on, and what reasons why. But ultimately, please bear in mind what I've just said. You should follow your gut instinct and put the oil where it feels right to you, and trust that gut instinct. You won't be wrong. Okay, so here are just some ideas. If you want to know what's inside the oils, go to markbajerski.com and scroll down, and all the information of all the oils and what's inside those oils will be there. So I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the spiritual and the healing aspect of the oil. Okay, so Energizing Oil. Energizing oil came to me when I realized that I needed more energy and I was lacking of energy. All my oils were fantastic, but my energy was lacking. So I needed to create something that had high frequency and energy. So whenever I'm working on a client or wherever I'm working on myself and I'm feeling down, I go straight to the chest. I'll open this up, take 3 to 6 drops, rub it on my chest, and then with the residue in my hands, breathe it in through the nose. And I'll breathe it in, and as I'm breathing it in, I am listening. Where else do I need to energize myself? Naturally, you would probably go to the temples because you feel that up here you need more energy. But I understood that where is the root cause of any issue when it comes to energy? And I don't know why I'm always pointed to the heart, because if you think about it on a level of physical, if your heart ain't beating, you ain't going nowhere. Your heart needs to be strong. If I'm ever doing a healing session and I want to give somebody energy, I always go to the heart. Always. It's like a light just charging in the heart. So it makes sense to me that energizing oil is literally rub on the heart. Anywhere else is a second thought or a second feeling. And that is, energy, giving energy. So what I did with this oil when I worked with it, the full, like one of these jars, when I work with this, I literally focus on skipping. I focus on smiling. I focus on like creativity. I focus on just joy, because you can't get any of those feelings if you've got no energy. If you've got energy, then all of those things come. So that's how I see energizing oil. Every single one of my oils, I always like to breathe in through the nose and blow out through the mouth, a minimum of 10 and a maximum around 20. But you can continue as long as you want. And energizing to me, like how would I use it? Who would I use it on? Predominantly, I find that anybody who is of heaviness, okay, anybody who feels like they've got the world on their shoulders, anybody who feels down, depressed, anybody who just feels a lack of enthusiasm, a lack of motivation, that's when I'd be using this on myself or on my clients, and it works. And I don't want to talk about what's in there because you can read it, but what's inside here is absolutely, in my humble opinion, without even realizing, matches up to Mother Nature's gift, what she gave us, because they're all natural. All my oils are organic, they're all sourced, and there is no crap or pesticides, and it's all fair trade, all of them. They are powerful and they're amazing, and they take a long time to find these companies who do this. It's like a nightmare, but once you find them, you stick with them. So there you go. I'd probably say now that every time I do a new batch of my oils, normally I do around about 50 to 100 bottles. So there's always a new batch. And what I mean by that is that I always keep half of the oil inside and replenish with a new half of oil. So the oils are of original, let's say, memory of how I worked with them till right when you get them. So there's always a freshness, but there's always a beautiful memory of the past. So when I first started working with it, that memory is always there, and we continue replenishing with new memory. So that's more memory inside the oil. So each drop that you get, you will receive a memory of the work that I put into it through my clients and through meditation and through pure energy healing. So that's the first one. Next oil. Beautiful bottles, brown, keeps them well. I suggest that you keep your oils in a place free from the sun so they last longer. This is Moldavite oil. Moldavite oil for me is about connecting to things that we haven't connected to. It's kind of like I'm going to go and do deep meditation. I'm going to try and awaken something that I just can't feel. I just can't connect. I just don't know what you're saying, Mark. You come out with all these things that you see colours and you feel spirit and you connect to this and you talk about extraterrestrial energies and things that are like beyond my understanding. Well, when I had clients that didn't believe in anything, that completely refused to accept anything other than I have to work, I have to eat, I have to drink, and that's all what's in this life. Put a piece of moldavite on them, put moldavite oil on them and work on that energy, which is predominantly at the top here, third eye, crown chakra, throat, behind the ears, anywhere around here, working on that section with moldavite oil. You are creating something that's going to go inside to internally and start making them like, whoa, it's not like ayahuasca. It's more of a gentleness, but with profound effects. Sometimes it can blow you away. And when you get into it, I found a lot of my clients are frightened. They're actually petrified. Like, I wanted you to stop. Like, wow, this is good stuff. And moldavite oil, the essence of all the oils that have gone into the moldavite oil is phenomenal. And it's funnily enough, it's from, the oils are actually from places where it's extremely spiritual, where all the shamans work in that kind of energetic frequency. So it's not going to give you an LSD, but it's going to help you open up to your natural LSD. It's going to open you up to your natural ayahuasca fix. And to me, if you can do it this way, it's not a quick fix, and it's not needed after that. It's not so you do this and you feel something, wow, that was kind of amazing. You lift up and then you never go back down as low again in your awareness. And then you'll do it again, and then you'll go up again, and then you keep going up. You never go down. Whereas I see ayahuasca as whoop, back down again, whoop, back down again. So this natural form of trying to connect to other worlds, other extraterrestrial energies, higher frequencies, colors that you've never seen before, images that you've never seen before, connecting to things that you've never felt before. That's why I created moldavite. And it's fantastic working with moldavite too. So if you can use the two together, a genuine piece of moldavite, remember that there is so much fake out there. It's heartbreaking to see on Etsy, eBay and all that. It's heartbreaking. It's a nightmare of the amount of messages that people are sending me saying I've been stuffed by buying off. Just be careful, okay? So, fantastic. Love it. And I would use it here. Breathe it in. Always breathe it in. If you feel like, oh, I'd like to rub somewhere else, go for it. Go for it. Some people have sent me messages saying, Mark, I'm telling you, I did all what you said about using it up here, but then I rubbed it on the base of my some people call it the Kundalini energy, and it's from the base down here. That's why there's a lot of rocking with certain religious people, like the Satnam energy, trying to awaken that. So they've rubbed it down there, and it's helped tremendously. So just go with what feels right to you, okay? You've got your pulse points, just wherever it feels right. But yeah, I would use this on clients that had no belief system at all. I'd use this on clients that just didn't know what I was talking about, and I would use it on clients that really wanted to go higher and wanted to raise their frequency. So that's moldavite oil. Healing oil, one of my, it is my first oil that I ever made. Back in the days. And back in the days, that oil is still in here. Can you imagine? So my first little bottle of oil is still in here with that memory, because I've always added to it and never let it go down. Isn't that fantastic when you think of how many years? But it goes even more crazy. When I took some oil from my first mentor, who told me her oil was over 40 years old, and she did that, I was like, I want to do that. That feels right. This resonates with me. Can I have some of your oil? So I took her oil and then started adding to that oil. So in theory, this is over 60 years old. The oil in here is over 60. There's all of them, because all of them have that memory. I never start any of my oils without putting some of this oil in, apart from Don Tolman's Golden Relief, that is a separate entity, because that is a specific way of creating oil in the way of the ancient wisdom of Egypt. So that to one side. All my other oils are all over 60 years old. People can't get to grips with that. They just don't get it. But there you go. The healing oil, for me, I started using it on everybody and it worked on everybody. Placing the healing oil is really about what you're feeling for your client at that moment. I used to watch my client walk up the stairs with a bad leg, and I go, oh, I need to put it on the leg. So I'd rub it on the leg. And there weren't that much healing going on until the day that I realized that the healing, it wasn't the leg, that the leg was because of something that had happened. Meaning that, not that they'd fallen, but something that had happened to them. And then the leg started getting messed up, or their foot or their ankle. So I'd like, okay, where is this coming from? So I'd tune in and then realize that it isn't the leg that I need to be healing. It's part of the brain, somewhere in the brain or somewhere in the stomach. And like, so I'd rub the oil at that certain place and all of a sudden the leg would get better. So like I said, X never marks the spot in pure energy healing. So there's nothing wrong with rubbing it there, because you're also healing it there, but there's also other places to rub it. So it's very difficult for me to say to you, where would you rub healing oil? Because what your healing process is and what your root causes are and where they are is going to be very individual to you. So again, I think this idea of pure energy healing, feeling where you feel it needs to go because of an individual or a client that you feel you need to put it there, just follow that feeling. So like now, if I was to rub this on, where would I rub it? I'd sit down, hold the bottle, and just feel my body. So I just feel now that if I had the oil in my hands now, I'd rub it on my back, I'd rub it here, and I'd rub it at the back of my neck, and I feel okay, that's it. And then I breathe in for 10 to 20 times. The healing oil is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It works in so many ways. Spiritually, to heal. How would I use it on client? Why would I use this on a client? I'd use it on a client for mind, body and spirit. It isn't specific to one thing like some of my oils are, like I've just said with the Energizing Oil and with the Moldavite oil. That's fairly specific. But the healing oil is a general oil that can be used on every aspect, because healing is healing. So for me, I would focus on where I feel it needs it to go, rub it there, and just let the work be done. How many times would you use the oil on specific certain things? Like I'm doing meditation, I wouldn't rub it all day long. I'd just use it for that specific time. If I'm not feeling well, then I'd probably use it every 2 hours, right? So just go with that, what feels right. Next oil is sacred oil. The sacred oil was created because I wanted something a little bit more different from all the oils. And using 3 particular oils in this oil made it very, very sacred. Now, the one thing I can tell you about this oil is that it's phenomenal for protection. It protects you against negativity, dark energies. If you believe in entities or spirit trapped in between 2 worlds, or bad forces, or bad people, narcissistic behavior, nasty people, by rubbing this on, there is a protection. There's some beautiful protection that happens. You know, I said I didn't want to talk about the oils in there, but frankincense, sage, Palo Santo is for me a trinity that is so powerful that it really does do some amazing work. And secondly, why would I use it on clients? Look, what I've noticed about this oil is that when something has affected you really bad, when something is attached to you not too good, and you think that there's something not right within you, and you feel that you are not yourself, or there may be some outside influence that's attracted itself to you, attached itself to you, I'd be using this oil for that. Absolutely. And I would follow where I feel, where there might be a specific point in I want to clear, or I want to just target my whole body. So I would be going to the bottom of my feet. I would be doing my knees, because these are points. I'd be using all the chakra points, and I'd be blasting my body, and I'd be rubbing it on my back to clear any of the negative residue that's being created by any kind of outside forces, whether it's of this world or other worlds. Sacred oil is phenomenal. I did once talk about this, I've probably many times, and I had a very bad experience with a client that had just been brutalized, and I cleared something from her which was very bad, and I felt something like not right in my back. And I remember 3 months into making this oil, and I didn't want to sell it until I was fully sure I was happy with everything about it. So I used to put my hands over it and give good energy into, like all I've just said, cleansing negative spirit and working on heightening my energy so that nothing can affect me. So, okay, I thought straight away, well, this is a great opportunity to see if this oil works. So I took my finger, rubbed it in the part where I felt something had attached, and I could literally feel this energy moving from one part of my back, running to the other side of my back. And I was like, that is not me. That is an entity or an energy that knows and is running away from this oil. So I rubbed it on where that is, and I rubbed all my back, and then it just disappeared. And I went, oh my God, this is amazing. So these are just some of the things that sacred oil, I think it's one of the most powerful oils in the world, especially when it comes to working with spirit, working as a healer, working with bad energies around us, working with the public and all of those attachments that they may have. It's a brilliant oil. Where would I use it? How would I use it? Breathe in through the nose for sure, and I'd feel my body. If I want to protect my front from people who are facing me, protect myself from the back from people who are backstabbing me, I protect myself from any negative energy around me, I'd be rubbing it at certain points. Like I said, you know, all the chakras make sense, all the power points make sense, up here as well. So yeah, don't be frightened of using it, and you don't need a lot. You just need a residue. The memory of one drop rubbed all over is phenomenal. You don't need to drown yourself in it, because it's like a crystal. The oil is like a crystal. Rub it there, it's like you've just put a crystal there, and you don't need to touch it then for a few hours, and that energy will just continue to work for a few hours. It's incredible. So yeah, love it. Cleansing oil was I think my second oil, because healing oil, people were coming to me with a lot of issues that they wanted cleansing away. So I created a cleansing oil. Cleansing oil to me is just to clear all the worry, all the fears, all the mind numbing things that we are always monkey mind, snowball, worries, fears. Rubbing this on the temples, rubbing it on third eye, rubbing it back of the neck, rubbing it all over your body, back, everywhere. Rub it wherever your kidneys, liver, stomach, just clearing all of them worries, you know. Just rub on the stomach and let the work be done. And the cleansing of the negativity, the cleansing of the trauma, the fear. Keep using it every few hours. You'll be surprised how quickly you'll feel better, and how the worries and the fears have disappeared, because the work that I've done to this oil is phenomenal. It's because it's all about cleansing negative energy, and that's what this oil is. So I used to use this non-stop on so many clients. You use it for grief, you use it for, abuse, you use it for trauma, use it for sadness. They're all energy frequencies that we have to put a name to, but it's only energy. If you can clear that energy away, you feel better, and that's why this is phenomenal. So the cleansing oil is amazing. Mystical oil was made lastly, the last of my oils that I made from scratch, was because a lot of people were complaining that they couldn't afford all the oils. So I came up with this idea of, how about creating all the oils in one? So all you need to do is rub this oil wherever you want, and you've got all of the memory of all the oils in one bottle. So instead of spending €300 or 350 on all the oils, you just buy one bottle. And that was basically what I did. We've sold thousands of them, thousands, and people love this one bottle. So everything that I'm saying to you today is basically all in one bottle, and that's the mystical oil. I don't really need to say any more than that, other than you use it however you feel. Purifying oil, well, that's kind of something that where I don't know what it was, but purifying was the word that kept coming up. People kept saying purifying. I want to pure energy healing, purify what does that mean? And I started sitting down thinking about it. How could I create a purifying oil to purify the body? And eventually I worked on lots of different oils. I bought so many of them and started smelling them, which feels right. And eventually I came up with a purifying oil that would work and help with the whole of the body system. Purifying is predominantly health, but it's also spiritual, but mainly health. So I want to purify somebody from toxins. And I've got to be careful. I don't want to lose my channel, so I don't want to start talking about stuff that we've been through for 3 years. But a lot of people were struggling because of something that happened to them three years ago, and they wish they hadn't have done it. So I needed to come up with something that could try and help purify and cleanse and clear the body of toxins. Okay, so I don't want to say any more than that. Anyway, it seemed to work really well. I had a lot of clients that I sent it to. I sent about 20 or 30 bottles out saying, please try it to people who had severe issues in their body, where they could have had huge, massive migraines, tinnitus, heart issues, liver and kidney issues. And they were using it, saying there was massive benefit. That's why. So if I was a healer now using it, and somebody came to me and said, I wish I had done something 2-3 years ago, I wish I listened to what they told me that I needed to do, and I nearly lost my job, I would be rubbing it on certain parts of the body where I felt that I needed to go. So I'm not telling you where to use this. Just follow your gut instinct with this one, okay? Follow your gut instinct, okay? You're going to say to me where I am. I don't know. I probably, it would be the heart, it would be the stomach for sure. And at the back here, where all the toxins are, where all the poisons are that need to be cleansed and cleared by liver and kidneys. So, and the stomach, of course, is the biggest. Most people don't talk about that. Your stomach is the biggest purifier of the body, I believe, anyway. Liver and kidneys, definitely. But anyway, so they're the parts that I'd be probably using it as well as around the heart. Okay, awakening oil, pretty simple really. I want to feel more awakened, right? How many people want to see? How many people want to feel? How many people want to understand the spiritual thing that other people have but they don't have? And I came up with this idea of the Buddha. I was meditating, I saw the Buddha and looked at his head and looked and thought, oh, pine cone, makes sense, pine. So I came up with this idea of how can we open the third eye? How can we open this, what was known in the mainstream as the pineal gland? How can we decalcify? How can we clear it and make it strong? How can we, make it work? How can we, put strength in there? So I created the awakening oil. And the awakening oil is used for the crown, it's used for the temples, it's used for the third eye, And yeah, sometimes I'll put it on my fingertips and just massage. I'll just massage like that because I want that energy to start to work on my third eye. People swear blind by this. I sell tons of this. People absolutely love this oil, and the ones who do meditation, mantras, any kind of psychic healing work, any kind of deep meditation, astral travel, any kind of I don't know, connection to the spirit world, you call it, in whatever form you call it, you know, mediumship, clairvoyance, clairaudient, it goes on and on. All of these people who want to start to try and feel all of these different energies, they swear blind by it. And I have so many testimonials on awakening, and it works amazing. It's fantastic. Always remember to breathe it in as well, all my oils. This is Golden Relief. Golden Relief was created by Don Tolman. Don Tolman found the parchments for the exact method of creating this. And the oils, I believe, were created by the ancient healers of the past. This is the healer of healing oils. This oil works on a level that is just mind-blowing. And that's why I wanted it. Could I add this to my oils? It's not mine, but I actually have gone out there, researched it, gone out there and done what I believe is ultimately the best I could do to honor this oil. So all the oils are all food grade, so you can put it in your mouth if you've got sores or you've got a toothache. Don Tolman says this oil is fantastic by taking 3 drops, putting it into a big glass of water, drinking it. If you've got stomachache issues, it will clear it very soon, and so on. This is great for lumps, if you've got lumps, any kind of scars, any kind of breaks, any kind of and just on a side note, I had the most terrible ankle break you can imagine. I am on my feet now and I'm walking a 98% fine now, in such a short period of time, because I use it every 2 hours. I would appreciate it if you go to markbajerski.com, type in Golden Relief and read it, because the information there is far more than what I could tell you. I've been using this oil for many years and it's been a go-to for me. It's been a savior for me in the physical sense, okay? But it also has an amazing spiritual meaning as well. One day I'll talk about it more and more, but for now, this is an amazing oil. 3 drops placed every 2 hours if you're going through something traumatic, or every twice a day. It's phenomenal. Again, testimonials are through the roof with this. It's the Healer's Blend, it's called. So it's what the ancients used to use. Only people who were on a high level of wealth could actually use this. So this basically healed the kings and queens and the royalty, but it's now for all of us, and it is incredible. It should be for everybody. It should be in everybody's house. I actually asked my son if he wanted some, and he said, I don't use oil, Dad. And I said, it's a shame. It's a shame you don't, because, and he said, no, give it to somebody else. So I sent it to somebody who really wanted it. It's a shame, because great for children. If your children are not feeling well, just rub some on their chest and they'll feel better. There's so many good uses for this. Golden Heart was a replacement for an oil that I created for people with heartache, and I'd got past the stage of the heartache and I wanted to create something that strengthened the heart. So Golden Heart came to me when I wanted something that would strengthen the heart, completely strengthen and make it feel. So this oil, Golden Heart, for me is if somebody came to me and they'd lost faith in love, they'd lost faith in themselves, they couldn't love themselves anymore, they didn't trust anymore, they didn't believe in love, or they just kind of lost faith in life, I would take this oil, and it's predominantly jasmine. So there's jasmine, 100% jasmine in here with the base oil. and rub it on their heart. And you probably think of some other places, breathe it in, but predominantly it's for the heart, and to bring back love into their heart. So it's self-love energy. That's how I would use it. Again, massive amounts of people who will swear blind by this and love it to bits. I love it too. So that's who I'd be using it on. And finally, abundance oil. Well, abundance isn't monetary value, but it is abundance of everything that we deserve. So again, I'd probably use this on the heart. I'd probably breathe it in. I'd probably use it like on places where I like the PowerPoints. I like the points of the knees. I like underneath my feet. I like the pulse points here, just at the wrists. Abundance. What can I say? I think abundance is who would I use it on my clients? Well, looking back, most of my clients might have been going through bad luck. They might have had a project that wasn't working right. They weren't really, they didn't really feel attracted or attract. I don't feel that I attract good things. I feel like somebody's got a bad eye on me, or I feel like I've got bad luck, or I feel like I've got voodoo, witchcraft, and all this, like all the bad things that they say. Using abundance oil, it brought back to them their energy. So the abundance is like, no one has the power over me. It's like I bring my power back. And this oil predominantly now is ylang ylang. There's something special about that smell, but it's something special about its energy. Please bear in mind that over these 20 years, I have added far more than 1 or 3. We're looking at hundreds of oils that have created these oils. But sometimes you will smell, oh, this smells like ylang ylang. It has for the past years, but prior to that, it smelled very differently. So I kind of still smell my oil before I replenish. I still want ylang ylang in here, but I'll still add 4 or 5 or 6 other oils in as well. But there'll be a major oil that I will use as a predominant oil in it. Use it where you feel and use it often. You can use, like for me, I'll give you an idea. So if I want abundance now in my life and I want abundance of everything, okay, I'll open this oil and I will probably rub it where I feel it right for that moment. But I'll also rub it on my crystal, and I'll hold the crystal and look towards abundance. I will look towards good things coming into my life. And that particular pattern, that template, I would use for every single oil at the same time. So bear that in mind as well. So finally, these 3 oils, I don't know what the price is, including DHL, but it's normally 300 plus, okay? We are now doing all of the oils, including Don Tolman's oil, right? Including DHL. And I kid you not, this sounds like a TV selling show, but it's around 100. So if I was to tell you that with the amount of DHL, which costs anywhere between 25 and 38 euros worldwide, I am losing. And I know that sounds, that's bullshit. No, it's true. I'm doing this as a gift because I promised at Christmas I would do as many gifts as I can. What I'm selling this at now, okay, is a gift to you. I promise you. It's a gift. So take advantage of it now because it's going to go back up to 300 and something, okay? So there is only a minimum amount of bottles that I have. I don't know how many is left now because they sell every day. But please, if you want these oils, all of them at this price, I swear, guys, this I'm giving it away. I know it sounds corny and everybody says it, but I swear on the bottom of my heart, if you knew how much these oils cost, the bottles, wrapping, sending by DHL, I am literally giving these away. So I hope you appreciate that, guys, from the bottom of my heart. This is my video. I will share one link only, and that is to this special offer. And Merry Christmas if you believe in Christmas, and I hope you appreciate these oils. And I hope if any of you have ever bought any of my oils, if you could just put something down underneath to help people how to use them and how it helped you, and if you believe that they have made a difference in your life, it just then gives people encouragement to see, okay, this guy isn't talking bullshit. He really is being a healer all his life from 38, and he has really made a difference in people's lives, and he does work with the oils. Every single oil I've worked with, nobody else touches these oils in the sense of my energy and the pure energy healing has gone into them, and then my beautiful staff wrap and pack them and send them with love. So if this offer has run out, I'm sorry, but there's only a limited amount of bottles that we have for this, and then the price will go back up to over 300 again. So enjoy this special offer. Take care. Love you all.